Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn past tenses with active and passive voice. So let's get started with the video. So first of all, what are past tense? They are as following. They do talk about actions that already happened, show when something happened in the past. Many types are simple, continuous, and perfect. Examples: I played yesterday. She was reading. So, the past tense is about talk about actions that already happened. So, you say something about the actions which you or someone else has already done, or show something that has happened in the past. The types of past tense are simple, continuous, and perfect. Examples: I played yesterday. She was reading. So, let's move on to simple past basic uses. So, it is used for complicated actions and shows exact time in the past. Actions happen one after another. Examples: I visit my cousin last week. He opened the door and ran. So, past simple has some basic uses. So, it is used for completed actions or show exact time in the past. Actions happen one after another. So, there are the examples. There are two. I visited my cousin last week, and second, he opened the door and ran. So now let's move on to the next one, which is past simple forms. So it has some forms which are positive, I worked, negative, I did not work, and question, did you work? And here are the time words: yesterday, last week, and ago. So there are three types of past simple forms: positive, negative, and question. They are given in the showing slide. So let's move on to passive voice in past simple. So focus on action, not the doer. Structure: was or were plus past participle. And example: the cake was baked yesterday. So now let's move on to past continuous. Action happening at all specific time. Two actions happening together. Interrupted action. Examples: I was studying at 9 p.m. She was reading when I called. So, past continuous has some of these rules. Action happening at a specific time, two action happening together, and interrupted action. So, in the first example, it is I was studying at 9 p.m. So it's a specific time. And she was reading when I called. It is a action happening together. So now let's move on to past continuous forms. There are three of them: positive, negative, and question. Positive is I was working. Negative is I was not working. And question is, was he working? time words are given, which are while and when. Now let's move on to past perfect simple. So in past perfect simple, there are two of them given. Action completed before another past action. Shows order clearly. Example is, she had finished her homework before the dinner. So, past perfect simple is an action that has been completed before another past action. Okay, so let's move on to past perfect forms. It has three forms, which are positive, negative and question. Positive is, I had worked. Negative is, I had not worked. Question is, has she worked? The time words are before, after and already. So let's move on to past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous has two of the explanations. Action started before another action continued for some time. Example, she had been studying for 2 hours. So, in the example, she had been studying for 2 hours, it's saying that an action started before another action. So, she had been studying for the past 2 hours. It is the one showing that it's a past perfect continuous. Okay, so now let's move on to used to and would. So, used to shows past habits or states. Would will show repeated past actions. Examples, I used to play football. And second is, he would sit every day. So, the first example, I used to play football, shows that used to is showing past habits, which is playing football, and he would visit every day is showing that would is in the place where repeated actions which are in the past take place. Okay, so I hope you would understand this one. Now let's move on to active versus passive. Let's do a quick compare. Active is subject does action. Passive is action is more important. Example of active, she wrote a letter, and the passive is a letter was written. So in active, it shows the action which is done by a subject. So the examples are given, which are she wrote a letter. You can use this form for talking, which is an active part. So in the passive, it is generally used in stories. So let's move on to common mistakes. Mixing past forms incorrectly. Forgetting had in past perfect. Wrong use of used to. And examples, mistakes, I was went, which is wrong, and the correct is I went. So in this one, the sum of the common mistakes are shown which people generally make. So it consists of mixing some of the past form incorrectly. So you have also might notice some of these. So I think you should fix them by practicing. So now second is forgetting had in the past tense. So in past perfect you always use had for your sentences, or else it will change its meaning. And also the wrong use of used to. So used to is used in some specific of these sentences, and some people generally don't realize that they made a mistake. So example mistakes are given which will correct you. So the wrong one is I was went. It is totally wrong. You should not add was in I was went. So the correct one is I went. So let's move on to some recap. Okay, so past simple, finished action, past continuous, ongoing action, past perfect, earlier past, used to, past habits, passive, focus on action. So it is given some of the following stuff that we have learned. So they are past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and used to, and passive. So past simple shows us the finished action. Past continuous shows us the action which is still going or is still in action. Past perfect is an action which is happened earlier in the past. Used to shows the past habit of someone, and passives focus on an action. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like this video, you may like, smash the subscribe button, share this with your friends, and stay tuned till I give you another video. So bye guys.